Welcome again for this session, which always talk about the history of Tanzania. Today we are going to focus after Tanganyika after the independence. Then, as we know that Tanganyika got the independence on 9th December 1961, and that time the first prime minister was Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. Then in that time, the head of the state remained to be Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth. So Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England or British, still being head of the state, while Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere became the first Prime Minister of Tanganyika from 9th December 1961 up to 9th December 1962. So on 9th December 1962 is where now Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere was being elected to be a head of the state, acting as a president, the first president of Tanganyika. And at that time, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere appointed Rashidi Kawawa as the second prime minister of Tanganyika. So after that time, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, because he was having a spirit of uniting all Africans, so he used now to convince many countries to join to be one country so that can fight to get the independence. So he used to succeed now to unite with Zanzibar, the country which was got independence on 12th January 1964. As you remember, Zanzibar got the independence on 12th January 1964 after the revolution, which was led by John Okello, and the first president of Zanzibar, as we remember, is Sheikh Abeid Amani Karume. Then after that time, these two presidents, they were staying together, starting discussing about how they can unite these two countries. So before they unite these two countries, there are some of the qualities they were supposed to consider. First of all, they were considering about the history of these two countries. These two countries are the same in their original kingship. You can see some of the people from Zanzibar, they were living in Tanganyika, while some of the people from Tanganyika, they were living in Zanzibar. So that's what the first quality to make these two countries to be one. So another quality which made them to unite the two countries was all about the issue of cultural relationship. You can see we're just having the way we wear the clothes, the language which we are using, Swahili. It was simple for them to unite these two countries. Not only that, number three, another quality which made these two people to unite these two countries, it was all about the issue of economic relationship. In one way, Zanzibar depending on Tanganyika, in another way, Tanganyika depends on Zanzibar. That's why now they were finding the solution of making these two countries to be one. Then another, it was all about to unite these two countries because of solving different conflicts which were arising. As you know that Zanzibar was under Sultan of Oman, then while Tanganyika was under British as the colonies. So if you remember those things, they were just fighting in case of transportation. We are talking about transportation in water, navigation, and transportation of land. So Tanganyika was having much benefits from Zanzibar, while also Zanzibar, in order to transfer the goods from Zanzibar, from Oman, from other places, was supposed now to pass those goods in Tanganyika. So in order to simplify, they were just looking at this economic relationship. If they unite, it could be simple for them to make sure that they can simplify transportation of their goods. The one side from different countries of Asia to come in Zanzibar, and from the goods from Zanzibar coming in Tanganyika. So it could be simple if they could unite. So those were some of the qualities which made them to discuss the issues of uniting these two countries. Then let us continue about it was now before 26 April 1964. These two people, they will agree, or these two presidents, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere and Sheikh Abiy Amal Karume, they will agreed now to unite these two countries, Zanzibar and Tanganyika. So there are some of the qualities, some of the issues, some of the special matters which made them to unite. We have what we call union matters and non-union matters. So those are some of the issues that we are still discussing. So on 22nd of April, they were just signing the treaty, signing the agreements, which would be used now to land the union. So, as you know that these are two independent countries, so there are some of 22nd or 22 union matters. This we have to check them. First of all, number one, they were agreed to make the union on the issue relating with the constitution and the government of the United Republic. When you talk about the issue of constitution is the set of the rules, principles and regulations that govern a state. So they were supposed to make the rules and regulations and principles which could rule the union country. Another union matter was number two, which is the issue of foreign affairs and international cooperation or external affairs. Now they are just looking to balance the way they can make sure that they will be relating with other nations by following this category of the union matter. Then another was all about the issue of defense and security, in which areas now they could cooperate. Those were some of also the issues which were just put into consideration. Another was all about number 5, the power to declare a state of emergency. Who will be declaring the power of the state of emergency? Maybe there is a disease, maybe there is a war, and now any president having the mandate now to decide on what now should go on. So now we are discussing on that issue, power to declare a state of emergency. Then another were about number 6, citizenship. They were supposed to look about citizenship. To look their people, maybe those who will come, those who are citizens by birth, those who are citizens by descent, and those who are citizens by naturalization or legislation. So they were just looking in those categories. Another was all about the issues of immigration. Number 7, the issues of immigration, those who are coming in the country, those who are outgoing, those who are going outside of the country. Now, what are the things or parties would be used within these two countries? Then another was all about number 8, which was external trade and borrowing. If Zanzibar wants to borrow the money from different international agencies like IMF, World Bank, and so forth, and Tanganyika the same. So what are the qualities should be used in order to make that program to be successful? So another was all about number 9, public services for United Republic, public services. Here we are talking about the issue relating with the health services, educational programs, and other things. Then another was all about income tax, customs, and excise duties. How they are going to fulfill this income tax, how are going to do about the customs and exercising duties which is held in every day. Then another was what about the issue of harbors, number 11. Now the issue of harbors, aircrafts, and post and telegrams. Those were also that was the area which was put into consideration. Then number 13 and number 12 was all about the issue of the issue relating with financial matters, legal tenders, and currencies, so that we can consider these things, and they are very important because we are united. But the issue of economic relationship is very important for these two countries. Number 13 was all about the issue of industrial licenses. Which country will be able now to provide the industrial license. Maybe Zanzibar on one side, or Tanganyika on one side, or the union government. Then another was all about number 15, mineral resources, including petrol and natural gases. How are we going to supply these raw materials in our countries? It will be either the part of Tanganyika or the part of Zanzibar, or it will be sent by the union government. So those were some of the issues to consider. Number 16 was all about the issue of National Examination Council and all matters relating with the council. So the issue of the National Examination Council, so it will be under the union government or Zanzibar independently or Tanganyika independently. So that also was the place now which were supposed to be checked. Another was number 18, research. The issue of research. You know that the countries always make research in different issues, social issues, economic issues, and political issues. So how are they going now to fulfill this duty? So it will be under Zanzibar and Tanzania or in the union government. Then another was all about number 19, meteorological matters. The issue relating with weather change and climatic change. So it will be under the Zanzibar or Tanganyika only or the union government. Then another was all about number 20, the issue of statistics. Statistics, which is dealing with national census and checking about the number of people, number of cattle and whatever. Those are very important. It will be under Zanzibar or Tanganyika or union government. Another was all about number 21, the issue of court of appeal of the United Republic of Tanzania. So who will be dealing with the court appeal? It will be for Tanganyika or Zanzibar or union government. Then another was all about the issue of registration of political parties and other matters relating to political parties. This was number 22, and these are things which we are talking about the union matters. As we know that the union matters is in the office of the Vice President. So the Vice President of the Republic of Tanzania was supposed to deal with these union matters. Let us see some few non-union matters. It means these are not be touched either by Tanganyika or by Zanzibar in one side or in one hand, but it can all be being only provide advice to each country, but they are not union matters. Let us see, number one, we are talking about non-union matters. Number one is what about local government matters. This is belong either to Tanganyika or to Zanzibar itself. These are not the union matter. Then another is number two, road maintenance and travel. Road maintenance and travel. If someone wants to travel, should go to check the permit from either Zanzibar or Tanganyika. This is not the issue relating with the union matter. Another is all about the issue of agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and other means of livelihood. These are some of the issues also which are not in the part of the union matters. We call them non-union matter. The issue of agriculture, the issue of livestock, the issue of fisheries, and the issue of livelihood in general. Then another, number 4, it was the part of trade and small-scale industries. This was supposed to be run either by Tanganyika or Zanzibar, not in the union government. Then number 5, this we shall be ending here. It is all about prison department. Tanganyika should have his prison department the same time in Zanzibar. Those are things which we are talking today. So for today, let us end over there. We shall continue with this issue of Tanzania after independence. Thank you very much. Continue watching this TV. Thank you very much.